Hello everyone, I'm Andrew Can, and if I can, you can too. Today I'm going to be teaching you different ways that you can promote and advertise your channel within YouTube without breaking terms of service, and we are going to be using TubeBuddy to do so. TubeBuddy is absolutely free to download and install. In full disclosure, I work for TubeBuddy. However, that does not stop me from saying I was using TubeBuddy before I worked for them. I'm still using it now, and I think it is one of the best ways to grow on YouTube. You can use tubebuddy.com/can or use the 25% off code in the description down below, though if any of these things require a higher level license, I will be letting you know. So overall, I'm really excited to get started here today, and I just wanted to say that this doesn't require too much. Now, a lot of the times when I try to show things here on the channel, I want to make sure that they're easy to follow and that you can do right after the stream. So I wanted to know who all is out there. I see Midnight Madness. Good to see you. He says, hey, Andrew. Also, I apologize if I'm a little sick. So while people are coming in, I just wanted to give people time to flood in. So again, the reason you want to promote and share your content out is to make sure your audience sees it. There are a lot of different ways you can do this. And one of the main focuses that I have is making sure that you can share your content not only within YouTube, but outside of YouTube using TubeBuddy all the way. So I see Tiffany Von Grayley, Brave Star, Harmony. I see Fun Size Nomad, Flash in Your Pan. Look forward to learning. Well, then you've come to the right stream. We will be doing the channel reviews, but this time it's going to be more specific. So this time we're going to be doing video SEO reviews. So if you guys have a video you'd like me to look at, I'll take a look at your channel. In the meantime, give you my thoughts on it, and then we'll look at a specific video's SEO and give you my thoughts just from a surface level. Again, I won't have time to watch every video, but the idea is from a surface level, I should be able to see what your content is about, and from that, I should be able to help give you some ideas. Now, if you have good SEO, I might be able to give you some tips moving forward. So we have a good amount of people here. I just wanted to say thank you everyone for joining me here live. So we're going to transition over to my YouTube screen. So let me know. I'm going to blow it up just a little bit for you all out there. So let me know if you guys can see it. Usually keeping it about 150 does the trick. So let me know if you all can see that very well. Also, let me know how my volume is. I think it should be fine, but always good to hear back. Welcome 3D Plastic Fantasy. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go to the YouTube Studio Beta. Now, having TubeBuddy installed, I can just go to my videos page and it should take me to the YouTube Studio Beta. While that is loading, apparently my apartment decided construction was the best time right now. Only when you're live, folks. You can only get these quality things when you're live, you know? Volume is perfect, says Fun Size Nomad. Welcome, Crypto Cruising. All right, it is loaded, so why don't we transition back? So the first thing I want to show, and this is a newer feature within TubeBuddy, and it's absolutely free to do, is share to Twitter. Now, I love this feature. All you have to do, and this actually can give you a little bit more of our promotion tool here, is you go to the video you wish to share. In this instance, why don't I share the first episode of the BioShock LP I started? And I'm going to hit share on Twitter. So what this is going to do, if you haven't already linked your account, it's going to ask you to do so here. Now, I don't want to share this out on TubeBuddy. I want to share this out on my personal Twitter. And the only difference is if you have the free version of TubeBuddy is that this is going to be selected by default. However, for my instances, I don't want to include posted by @TubeBuddy. So let's just say I wanted to tweet out my latest gameplay. All I would do is check out my latest series on the gameplay channel. It's of BioShock 1, and you can make this to whatever your audience fits best to. And then from here, I just hit post tweet. It will include this thumbnail as an image. Once I do that, go ahead and right click to open in a new tab, and boom. Check out the latest series on the gameplay channel. It's of BioShock 1. So now I've tweeted that out. Simple, don't even have to leave YouTube. So Crypto Cruising is saying I'm in work, so this is difficult. Well, I do appreciate you even being here now, so thank you. And so that's just one of the newer ways. And again, it's just a couple of buttons. If you haven't linked your Twitter, it'll bring you to the page to do so. So there are other ways you can also track things you've shared your videos with. So one thing is called the share tracker. And what this will do is it will let you share any of your videos on the following sites. So if I wanted to share it to, let's say, Reddit, it'll open Reddit in a new tab, and then once I share it, I can come back and it'll mark it as complete. So I shared it to Reddit. So let's say I wanted to share this to LinkedIn. I can easily do that. I can share it to Twitter, which I can mark. And this just lets me know, hey, have I shared it to these platforms? Yes or no. And all of these things are really important, especially if you want to make sure you're promoting it to all these social networks. Now, one thing I really like about this share tracker specifically is once you click out of it, let's say I refresh, if I'm ever curious, did I share this to that social media platform? Did I do all that I was supposed to do? It keeps track for me. And I know that a lot of the times I can get kind of caught up in remembering, especially uploading a lot of content to a lot of different channels. It's nice to be able to come back to the share tracker and see, all right, Twitter, LinkedIn, Reddit, but I forgot Pinterest. And then being able to just share it from right here directly is super important, especially because you want to make sure you're sharing it to the most places. Now, one thing, and I think I can bring this up to the team, is maybe we add a place to add to the community tab, which is a very important place to be sharing. And I wanted to know, are you out there sharing videos of other people and, of course, yourself on your community tab? Of course, if you don't have the community tab yet because you're not a YouTube partner, no worries. But it is something that's very interesting because even if you don't have the community tab, one thing you can do is start engaging on people's community tab because it's such a new feature. So it's something I try to recommend and tell people, especially if for whatever reason they haven't had the opportunity to do so yet. So let's say I wanted to share a video on the community tab. The first thing I'm going to go do is make my way back to my YouTube channel. So while that is loading, or it's going to take me to the YouTube Studio dashboard. Fun times. Yay! So I got to go this way, but no worries. Always learning. Here we are on the channel. So let's say that I wanted to share with my community a poll or anything, right? So let's say there's a video from one of my highly recommended channels here on the side. Then this is something I could easily do and make sure that I'm sharing content not only that my audience would enjoy, but maybe people I watch a lot that I feel that my ideal audience would also enjoy, right? Because what that helps you do is, one, you can mention that channel like, hey, this latest video from blank is really helpful if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel or getting better at filmmaking in the case of this channel, right? So for me, it might be people I've worked with through TubeBuddy, so that could be Nick, D, Brian G, Daniel Batal, Owen Video, any of those who I've worked with extensively. Roberto Blake just kind of comes to mind. And it creates what I would like to call a system where usually you can share out a video, and if it does well for both parties, then sharing videos out consistently can be a great way to share your videos and share other people's content in an organic way that isn't spammy and that fits what your ideal audience is and who you're trying to build. Because a lot of times people aren't sure who they're trying to reach. So if you're not sure who you're trying to reach, this is kind of where it gets a little more tricky to do, but it's one of those things you want to make sure that you're sharing content your ideal audience would enjoy. So while I take a sip from my tea because my throat is a little scratchy, let me know, are you guys using any of these methods to promote your content? And while that is going, I'd also like to remind you that I will be doing in-depth video reviews. Push record. Robert Zink says, great idea, Andrew. I'll start leveraging the community tab more for sure. Exactly. And it's one of those things where if it makes sense for your audience, it could also lead to actual collaborations, especially because you get a specific notification when a channel shares your video in the collaboration tab. So for me, if someone shares it in their community tab, that to me, I go to check out that channel a lot more because it's something that YouTube feels is so important. They share it out. Crypto Cruising says, I never use my community tab at all. And I find that very interesting, especially for you, because you do a lot of voiceover work. So that could be a natural way where you can help show off some of your voiceover work, but also build your community as well. And it's also a great place to ask questions, as you can see here. What I found to have the most success is definitely polls and images, but it doesn't mean that there aren't things you can share. 3D Plastic Fantasy says, I haven't used community tab yet. It just unlocked a few weeks. I intend to use it in my next video. Since it's so new, you have to train your subs to use it. From what I've seen, build the habit into them to check it. Absolutely. And an easy way to build that habit into them, and I found very good success on this, is saying, last week on my community tab within a video, and that way you can link to the community tab. You can let them know, hey, I do video ideas here. So that's a very good point from Fun Size Nomad. It's letting your community know you're active there, because so many YouTubers aren't. But once they know you're active there, they really can start coming around. Another thing that is super useful to know is when they hit that notification bell, if they choose all, some of the stuff on the community tab will show up. So that's just some of the different ways you can promote yourself using TubeBuddy. There are also a few other things, but I want to make sure that I get the most value to those watching and those who are watching the replay. So if you are watching, what are some of the ways you share your content? If you're watching the replay, what are you doing to share your content out personally? Are you using any of these features within TubeBuddy, or have you never heard of TubeBuddy? I'm curious kind of to what you're doing, because it's always interesting to see what creators are doing to get their content out there. I know some people use Instagram, some people use Facebook. I'm a big Twitter user, so that's kind of my natural place. I also think Discord is a good way, but it also depends the rules of the Discord. And you, like any other place you share content, if you are sharing just to share your content and you're not engaging, you're probably not going to get good results. When it comes to promoting your content, you don't need to do it selfishly. The first thing you should do is get to be known in that community, offer help, because in order to get, you got to give. That's what I found in any sense when it comes to promoting in a good way, or a way that's going to benefit you positively. Because if you're not sharing with that intent, if you're not sharing to help others, just helping yourself, usually it doesn't come back around. So that's kind of what I've noticed. So this is the opportunity to open up to, if you are interested in a video SEO review. I think Discords can be spammy. Some only come in to leave their video, which is why I'm very specific in saying make sure you give to get. Fun Size Nomad says, I use Discord. We'll definitely be using the TubeBuddy one to serve my Twitter and Reddit from now on, though. And you see, that's something that is also built into Videolytics, right? So if I just type in my own channel here and I switch over. So let's say I wanted to check, let's go with this video, right? There's something called Social Monitor within TubeBuddy Videolytics, which tells me that this video has gotten 12 likes on Facebook, 0 upvotes on Reddit, but 9 mentions on Twitter. And this lets me kind of check how people have been sharing it and been using it online, which is nice because it helps you stay engaged on those other social medias. So if you're a big Reddit user, this is definitely something you want to be doing. Push Record says, I'm actually trying to post as much native content as possible to all these social networks. Seems to really hate each other. Massive drop in reach whenever I link to a YouTube video. So that's pretty fair, Push Record, but that's why I like using TubeBuddy ingrained, because when you're posting the thumbnail, which TubeBuddy does automatically for you, it takes that as an image, and it doesn't, and from what at least I've found personally and I've seen from other people, it doesn't seem to hurt the organic reach as much. Harley Pebbly says, remind me of Gary V's, always give at least 51% versus what you ask. And that's a very decent mindset. I usually try to give 60%, and then I actually realistically I give 90 and expect 10, because that's kind of what I've seen, but I'm always surprised when someone does. Is TubeBuddy Twitter share available on all versions of TubeBuddy? It is available on the free version, but you will have the limitation of the @ posted via TubeBuddy if you have the free version. But I do like Social Monitor because it's very important to see kind of how people are engaging and sharing out your content. And it shows, especially if you're not actively searching for it, to be able to see it on the video is super nice. I'll start using TubeBuddy Share Tools some more. Then thanks for letting me know. Of course, and it's letting people know what the functionality is and that there are ways to get your content out there. So with that, again, I want to make sure I open this up to you who are watching. Hey, Paul Peck, good to see you here with me live. I want to do video SEO reviews because I want to see what people are doing. I want to see kind of the hang up. But one thing I wanted to talk about is my own video SEO and kind of my thought process on it. As you can see, this is a video that was very targeted towards Hero Hub and Help YouTube content strategy. This is something I firmly believe in. I don't feel enough creators talk about. So it's something I want to make sure that I am helping people understand and kind of giving a little bit of my own SEO knowledge here. Scully's House of Thrillers, good to see you, says hello. So when I look for SEO, the first thing I think of is, what is this video really about? And again, if you'd like a video SEO review, please let me know in the live chat. If you're watching this in the replay, I plan on going live every Wednesday, so come check me out, and this is your opportunity. So as you guys can see here, the main focus on what this video is about is Hero Hub Help YouTube Strategy, Create Better Content. Understanding the three H's, Hero, Help, and Hub, really is important. Welcome, Nikias Molina. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sorry if I am not. I am bad at channel names. But as you can see, I'm doing my best to showcase what this video is about, and I really make sure that I talk about, even within the first sentence, I go Hero, Hub, and Help content, what you need to know. And I focus all about those things because it's super important that people understand. Now, there are 1.97 million results for this term. It's something that is very well known. Sometimes it's also called Hero, Hub, and Hygiene, just another way to say it. But for me, it was making sure that something that is so searched for is showing up, because it really is super important that people understand these things. And as you can see, using TubeBuddy's Keyword Explorer, I can kind of show you where I'm able to not only rank for the tag first position, but I have it in my description. Hero, Hub, Help, YouTube Strategy are important. You can kind of see where I have it listed multiple times in the title, the description, and tags, and also yet again in the thumbnail. And again, all four of those things play into helping this video show up in search results. As you can see, it's the #1 in search. I'm pretty sure if I were to quickly just go over here, youtube.com, you can see the YouTube sub button. That is something I was working on for a forum, and I want to make sure that I have the spelling right. So I'll transition back over here, so if I misspell it, you don't judge me so harshly. But the idea is, you want to show up when people search. You want to see if your video is the answer to that searchable question. And if we transition to incognito results, #1, Andrew Can on the personal channel shows up for the result. And it's really important because not only do I want to show up for this, but it's something that I feel my ideal audience needs to know. I'm all about the SEO, Andrew, says Paul Peck. But yes, and I just spilled my water, so that shows you how great I am. I wish I was on the other cam, but I am not above making mistakes. So my question is, and I'm seeing a lot of people here, is what are your SEO practices? Because a lot of people don't do the bare basics, or they have this misinformed version of SEO. So I always like to see what people in chat are doing. Welcome, Pauline Newman. Great to see you here. I've seen you a few times today. So welcome. Thank you for joining me. I am drinking because I am sick, so I'm trying my best to make sure that I recover as best as I can, as well as focus on this. So what I'm offering is SEO video reviews. I want to take a look at your video. I want to really deep dive. So if anyone would like that, let me know. And if not, I'll kind of keep talking over my own SEO practices. Again, this is something that I want to make sure people are understanding. And when you're offering your channel, you're getting a second look. Scully's House of Thrillers says, I'm ranking very well for author reading. Fun Size Nomad says, I'd like a review if you'd like. Of course, I would love to give your channel a look. Although I will be a little honest, I looked a little bit earlier, but no worries. So we're going to go ahead and transition over. I know I'm not doing it well and would love some direction. So I'm assuming you're talking about video SEO, or you're just talking about your channel in general. So the first thing I noticed is, this is just from here, and it's how your descriptions are worked. And in fact, since this is the video you are promoting on your channel, I want to just take a look at this one right off the bat. Now, I also noticed that this was a premiere, so I want to take a look at kind of how you're doing SEO wise. So the first thing I'm noticing, right, is a kind of lack of understanding of the order of importance here, right? So YouTube is very simple in the way it looks at SEO. Whatever you title your video, is what your description and tags need to be based around. So, with that in mind, you called this video Raft Raiding and PvP, Solo Nomad Life, Ark Survival Evolved Mobile, right? So you're telling YouTube, and this is the order you're telling them, that the most important thing is Raft Raiding and PvP. So when you start your tags with Ark Mobile Official, Ark Mobile, and all these things about Ark, but Ark is the last thing, YouTube is reading this in order of most importance. So you put the most important things, at least it seems like in your tags, what you're really focusing on is being Ark Mobile Official Solo. Well, when you finally mention Ark, it's at the very end. Yes, you have Solo here, but again, the first thing you tell YouTube this video is about is Raft Raiding and PvP, right? So let's just type in Raft Raiding, because this is what I would look for it, and PvP Ark. So let's just go here. So the first thing I see is that this video, there are 87.1K video results. There are a lot of people searching for it, but what makes your video stand out is mobile, right? So let's go for mobile. If we add mobile, we have a little less results. Now, if I look here, I see your video, right? Season 1, episode 19. Wow, that is good to know. PvP and raids were definitely the focus on that one. I could probably need a review if you want, said 3D Plastic Fantasy. I'm okay. Ed, how's your day, bro? Okay, so just talking within the chat. So the thing is, I'll add you to the queue, by the way, 3D Plastic Fantasy. And this is something I see a lot of creators kind of get lost in when it comes to how they do SEO, is whatever the video is about. You titled this Raft Raiding and PvP. I would, like Solo Nomad Life Season 1, Episode 9, I'd put that at the very end. What's more important is what you were doing. The game is what people are going to be searching for the most. So I usually say the game name first, what you were doing, or what you were doing within the game, and then the game name. And then I put the Solo Nomad Life, because the odds of people looking for that over Ark are very low unless they're really dedicated within the game. So that's something you need to think about. And this can work on a lot of things. So as you can see, I was able to find a way you were ranking, and you don't even have this tag added. So what you've told YouTube this video is about is Raft Raiding and PvP. I would put the title in this order, because your title is going to dictate how your tags and descriptions are. So I'd put either Ark first or Raft Raiding. So why don't we put Ark first, Raft Raiding second, and then I'd put Solo Nomad Life at the end. So I'd have this right at the beginning, this shortly after, and then I'd end with this, because this is the least valuable information to a general audience. To your core audience, it makes sense, but to the general, they don't really care. Hello, Apps That Rule. Great to see you here as well. So I might click around to the video because we just kind of have a black screen, and some color would be nice. There we go, a little more contrast. Another thing I'm noticing kind of from the SEO side is, hey y'all, Scott here. If you got that joke, congratulations. If not, no worries. But here's the thing. Hey y'all, from PvP to raft chasing. The hey y'all, as nice as it is, isn't helping you when it comes to SEO. What I always tell people is find a way to organically include titles and tags into your video description so that it helps YouTube with the relevance of the video. Now, because you're a gaming channel, you also have longer form content, which may make it a little bit harder for your content to do better, because the longer it is, the more people have to watch. And if people aren't watching all of it, it can do that. Fun Size Nomad says, started all my videos promoting the game first, but saw a boost when I switched it later. I believe a lot of PC players were dismissing it as a mobile from the get-go. So that could also just be PC gamers may not be the target audience. Obviously, if you're making Ark mobile videos, the people you're trying to hit are probably Ark players, then more specifically mobile. It's like understanding the audience per upload you put out. Also, welcome. So again, kind of going back to the description thing, we have ground out the maps to go hunting juicy targets. It's great, but the thing is, it's like you actually are describing the video, but you need to find ways to describe it with how you've tagged it, right? So if I go back to my example, Hero Hub and Help YouTube Strategy create better content. Hero Hub, Help YouTube Strategy are important for creating better content on YouTube. So see how I was able to reinstate this in my description? Knowing how to create Hero Hub and Help content will help you go far on YouTube and online content creation journey. And on your is why I probably should have put for better grammar, but of course not perfect. But you get the idea, right? It's like finding the ways to organically restate what you've put in the title, in your description and tags. So if I had to give an idea, I usually give a grade from A to F. If I were to grade this, I'd say that you have an advanced, a little bit better understanding of tags because you're not using one word keywords. But what I'm seeing is a kind of failure to understand like the order of importance on like how it's function, how it works. So for that, I'll probably give you a D+ for grade, which isn't bad, Fun Size Nomad, but it's one of those things where I know you could improve. And again, a lot of it goes into what is this video about? So if it's about raft and raiding, then keep it to what the video is about, the game you're playing. And then I'd put this because in the end of the day, if someone's coming in, if they find this in search, the odds of them clicking on season 1, episode 9 are very low because most people want to start on episode 1. So one thing I'm noticing that you haven't done is you don't have a pinned comment, right? Like maybe you could say catch up to on episode 1 here, like make it easy for your audience to catch the first episode if you aren't already. I think my creative process has been way off. Should be title, then tags and description. Exactly, Fun Size Nomad. And that's what I recommend people do when using TubeBuddy in general, is that you want to make sure that you are doing the most that you can to get value to your audience. Because again, search can lead to suggested, it can lead to so many amazing things. But if you don't have it right, it can really mess it up. Fun Size Nomad said, I swear I pinned a comment. Will do. And again, that's why I love having Videolytics from TubeBuddy. It gives me things like, crap, didn't do this, gotta fix it. So overall, D+ is still passing. Again, you're ahead of a lot of people, but it's just those minor things that you can fix to really bring it home. So as we continue, I'm going to take a look at 3D Plastic Fantasy. And of course, if you would like your videos SEO to be reviewed, please let me know in the comments of the live stream. And of course, if you'd like this to your own channel, come back next Wednesday to check it out. And if you're watching this on Wednesday, I might be live now. So, better than I expected. Thanks so much for the direction. Happy to help. And again, keep watching because as you'll see, some people may have similar ideas to what you're doing. So here we are, 3D Plastic Fantasy. First of all, just kind of looking at your channel, I know that 3D pen creations, making figures, keychains, tutorials, and more. So I kind of know what to expect. I see a little bit of the work that has been done. Only thing I would say from just an audience standpoint is when do you do these creations? And that'd be that. And also, why should I subscribe? Like, I see that you're making figures, keychains, tutorials, and more, but why should I subscribe? That's the only thing I'd say. I always pin a comment which allows the viewer to go back to chapter 1 of my novel reading, The Scully's House of Thrillers. So, 3D Plastics, I'm going to take a look at your most recent video. So, 3D Pen making Nabbit, new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So let's take a look. So what I'm noticing, and this is another kind of example, and I'll pull a little further into the video just so we have it here, is that when you focus on what your video is about in the title, which is really more so 3D Pen tutorial of making Nabbit, which is 3D Pen Super Mario tutorial you're ranking for, but putting 3D Pen at the beginning there may not be doing that much, but you could just be using it as a catch-all. What I would say is maybe doing 3D Pen and then what you're creating tutorial, because it seems to be successful for you. Like, for example, Nabbit New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, yes, while relevant, isn't exactly what this video is doing. So when you focus on, how to make Mario with 3D Pen or 3D Plastic Fantasy, which is your name, Nabbit 3D is ranking better than just Nabbit from Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Again, so what I'm seeing here is I actually don't see something that seems pretty simple to me. 3D Pen tutorial Nabbit. And maybe I'm just blind, but that is something. But again, the search, while is kind of poor, so you got to keep that in mind. But you are ranking for it, right? So 3D Pen tutorial Nabbit. So you may have done this because the other terms have higher search. But 3D Pen Super Mario tutorial has a little bit more. It's a little bit better, but you're really kind of competing with yourself here, it seems, which is good. But unless they're searching for this specifically, that's going to kind of be where you're having the hard time. So, I think maybe making Mario with 3D Pen might be a little more searched for, or creating Nabbit. Let's see. Search is still pretty low, so it might be that this video just doesn't have the same search. So what I would like to do is just kind of see some ways we can get better on the SEO here, because again, you have a pretty decent understanding. But the things I would say should be the most important are the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. I would again maybe place that towards the end, because the thing that people are finding this video for and the thing you're ranking for is definitely when you talk about 3D Pen and just kind of what this video is actually about. So how to make Nabbit with 3D Pen might not have the most search, but it is what the video is about. How to make Nabbit. And again, number of video search results, it's still pretty low, but you're probably getting a lot of your views from being suggested on your own channel, right? So that's what I'd be curious of where you're going for. I also see that you have some likes on Facebook, that you get some mentions on Twitter, although it might just be yourself, but it's still, that's something. And again, this is all things you can do to make sure. I see green boxes here. Welcome. So I do have some questions for you. Are you doing another review before you go? Would love a quick review of my channel. So push record today is a video SEO review. Again, whatever the title of the stream is kind of dictates of what kind of reviews I'm doing. It's not so much a general overview. It's more so like a specific look at a video of your choice. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. And of course, super chats always take priority, but it's one of those things where I'm trying to let others see, because some people might make similar mistakes, or you can kind of see where their train of thought was going. But understanding what others were doing and how you can fix it for yourself can really help you change your habits. Because if you can see a pattern that is being repeated and it's the same mistakes over and over, then you can go, oh, I see why he's saying this, because then you're seeing positive results, like bad results being corrected to better results, which leads to growth. So hopefully you're still in here, 3D Plastic Fantasy. I don't see your comments, but just kind of curious. And another thing, just kind of looking here, you are doing all the best practices that we recommend at TubeBuddy, though. You do have your info cards, things like that. The one thing I would say is maybe instead of saying, would you like to see what's next, just link them to the playlist. I mean, yeah, they might do here. Okay, I will try to change it and see how it goes. I'm trying to keep up with new game releases in general. So by doing that and by keeping up to new game releases in general, you have a really good chance of being in the suggested. What I would recommend you do is maybe kind of take a look at Pokemon Sword and Shield that just had a video release today. Because like if you know a Nintendo Direct is coming, then that's something you can make a 3D model for. Or you can also just look at TubeBuddy's trending, right? So let's just, here, a lot of people may not know this. So let's show it, Pokemon Sword. I'll switch to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Well, you can see it in Google there if you really want. But Pokemon Sword and Shield, we'll go to trending. And you can kind of see things that people are looking for within the trending of this, right? So people are looking up Pokemon Sword and Shield trailer. And then you can kind of go from there. And maybe you can take like the legendaries that are kind of being created and you can use that. And this also shows you breakout terms, which is important because these terms are doing better than before. Also, welcome modern day tech. And to the audience watching, you guys finding it very helpful to look at these deep dives into video SEO? Because the reason I do this is to help you better see what others are doing well. And again, I'm not above criticism. If I do something wrong, I usually try to acknowledge it. And it's something that we can always get better at. So I'm just kind of curious to what people are saying, what people think. I already started with Crash Bandicoot, to be honest. And again, that's fine, 3D Plastic Fantasy. Like, do what you have to do. And understand that your ideal audience is probably not going to be the audience you've already built. And the reason I say that is your ideal audience is people you haven't reached yet. So when it comes to doing these 3D things, like what do you ultimately want to get out of this channel? Absent Rule says, I think it's definitely helpful. And I'm happy to hear that because that gives me the go ahead to keep doing this because I want to bring value to those of you who are watching now. And I promise one day I won't be sick, but today, not that day. So with that, I would give your video SEO, if I were to give it a quick grade, I'd probably give it a C+ because I think you have a good kind of sense of what you're doing, but it's understanding just better ways to help this video not only be recommended, but also do well in search. I would maybe say for the 3D pen, unless it's followed by like tutorial or something, I'm not sure like how well it is going to perform. Now you may rank for 3D pen when the video shows for the first couple of days, but it seems like here you're competing with like 3D pen lab and then all of these. So again, you have some competition, so I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it is very difficult at the moment to start with 3D pen. So I'd find another way. So that's why I'd recommend 3D pen tutorial. Thank you, push record, Robert. You made it to the dude level. So I'm assuming that's what someone said. So again, that gives you kind of an idea of what we see there. And if another person would like an in-depth look at video SEO, please let me know, because for me, I always enjoy doing the SEO, and I think that SEO is sometimes more important to do than the video, because a lot of times what a creator will do is they'll make a video first and then try to shoehorn the SEO. But the thing is, if you make a video no one is searching for, don't be upset when no one clicks on it or no one watches. Because a lot of times it's understanding that the algorithm follows the audience. And if you created the video because you just wanted to create a video, then don't be surprised when it's only you watching. And that's something that took me a long time to realize. And sometimes you might just create an upload that is just to be archived or is just for you. So that is something to also keep in mind too. Tiffany Von Gravely says, I've definitely shoehorned SEO. And again, sometimes it's one of those things where it's easier to do it that way. Like you've already created a video, you didn't think to research, but it's kind of happened. Man, I've never been a dude. I normally get called other things, says Crypto Cruising. Tiffany Marguerite says, spoiler alert, doesn't work well. 3D Plastic Fantasy says 3D pen art and 3D pen tutorial was another way to rank, but they are still highly competitive. Still high competitive as 3D pen. So while we wait for more people to take a look at, I actually wanted to put that kind of to the test, right? Let's actually get some data points here. So 3D pen, we'll just start there, has 2.13 million searches per month, and 11.4 million searches in general. So 3D pen tutorial, a little better, 5.84 million, so a lot better comparatively. And actually, if you look here, my idea of Pokemon might not be too far off. Yeah, this is probably going to do a little bit better since more people are going to start looking for Pokemon with the new announcement. But your main thing is with 3D pen, where is 3D pen lab not hitting? Because that's going to be your main competing people just seeing it here. So that's kind of for you as a creator to kind of figure out. 3D pen tutorial, there's easy and for beginners, right? So like, let's see the search. Now you may not want to do this. There's only 570, so maybe focusing on that is a little bit too, like for 570, you're gonna grow kind of, but it's still slow. So maybe 3D pen art tutorial could be a different way. It still has 3.51 million. And actually looking here, there's not really that many people who have kind of hit this specific search phrase. Like, yeah, we have 3D pen, but we don't really have 3D pen art tutorial. So I'd be kind of curious to see how results like that would do for you. What do you do when you start competing with yourself for SEO? Well, that's a positive problem. However, it also can lead to, if you're only showing up for one thing, then you could be building yourself around that one thing. So for your instance, Tiffany, I know that you're ranking for Instagram Zodiac quiz. Again, maybe do other Zodiac related videos that can lead you out of the quiz and Zodiac sign niche. And it's finding ways, right? So like in a video game, if you're doing PvP, but you want to keep your content around that video game, then maybe focus on the main story, focus on PvE. There's a lot of separate elements. It's understanding like who you want to reach, right? So for 3D pen tutorials, you're trying to help artists trying to probably get into 3D pen or 3D pen work. So for that, you got to find unique ways to stand out in a kind of, it's more crowded than I thought it would be, but it's still kind of crowded niche. So that's kind of as you a creator to do that research and to find where people aren't being served in that niche. And it's good that you've got some ideas to expand out of that, because sometimes you can niche yourself into a hole. And that's something that is just as bad as not having a niche to begin with. Arlie Pebley says, would focusing on making a specific thing help? How to make a thing in a game. That's actually not a bad idea. I will give it a shot. If I try to do that in my last videos, will it have any effect, or it doesn't matter? So 3 Plastic Fantasy, the thing is you're not ranking for that. I would say try it on new uploads before you go back and change it, because you have absolutely no data. And you do have data being gathered for the old uploads, but on the new ones, like the crash one you're working on, try it there, because that may be where you have a little bit of distinction. And what I would highly encourage you to do is, seriously, Pokemon is trending, it's starting to go up. Focus on that, especially since it seems like your other ones were gaming focused. So that'd be kind of where I would tell you to focus on right now. So Fun Size Nomad says, as someone who does Let's Plays of a non-structured survival game, how do you not shoehorn SEO? My game niche, the PvP, gets 2 to 3 times the views, but some episodes I'm just focused on building. Can't do PvP every video, as the game isn't conducive to it. So again, it's understanding that if you're going to be doing those other videos, that you may have people who only watch your PvP content and may have people who only watch the building. That's just kind of how YouTube works. It follows the audience. So if your audience really loves the PvP content, YouTube wants you to make more of that. If it really likes the building content, make more of that. Whew, sorry about that. Just need a little bit of water there. Flash in your pan, commas are important. He says, I hear that. Well, time to eat, comma, kids, comma. He says, time to eat, kids. Have a great one. See you around. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Do appreciate it. And again, always appreciate getting deep dives into video SEO, because it helps me get better to see and teach people, because I get to see kind of where the hangups are. Because when you're doing it, it's sometimes very difficult to see where people are getting confused or not seeing where they're not able to relate to the viewers. So it's something I do my best to try to show. So with that, I want to know final kind of call for video SEO reviews, and if not, we might just go back to general channel reviews. I find it very interesting just in general. I'll try to do that after I finish with that video. Thanks for the help. Happy to help 3D Plastic Fantasy. And again, you want to make sure that when you do these types of content, that when you're doing these things, that you're doing your best to make content that fits your niche, does what you want to do within your niche, and then also helps your channel grow. Oh, stop it with that bottle, you big tease. I mean, Neil, you're going to get one at Vid Summit, so just a short, I think, what, 4 months away now? A little less? Not bad. Man, Vid Summit is coming up fast. I'm down, Andrew, always interested in some feedback. I've never had my channel reviewed. Man, that is one handsome fellow wearing those cans. Thanks, Daniel. Good to see Daniel Batal, who I have a video coming up with Daniel not too far away. So I will go ahead and add some people to the queue. Want to make sure that we are getting some good feedback here. 3D Plastic Fantasy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity and letting me see your channel. 3D Plastic Fantasy, when your next video comes out, please share it with me. I want to take a look at it SEO wise, and if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. So thank you. So Fun Sized Nomad says, I'm excited to redo SEO and possibly see some concrete results. And one of those things I've known need improving, but I didn't know where to start. Well, Fun Sized Nomad, I would say start with videos that didn't perform well, because if a video is performing and you don't know how to fix the SEO, you might remove things that are working for it. So until you get a more concrete way of understanding your SEO, I kind of try to tell people, don't fix things that you don't understand. Work on newer uploads. And then when you feel confident in your understanding, then maybe go back. But since you're very new to kind of understanding it, that's kind of where I'd say. So we're going to transition over to apps that rule. Mobile apps that rule with the Fantastic Joe, the best applications for your mobile device. So I like the banner a lot. I think it makes sense. The only thing I would say is, and these are some kind of things, the Fantastic Joe's a little hard to read. I'm assuming this is Joe. I kind of think maybe you should put an app on your phone here, or maybe put like, hi, I'm Joe or something. I like the word cloud like design here. One thing I would say as well, just kind of quickly, is I like that click to subscribe is your only thing and it's your main focus, but you're not telling me within the banner why I should subscribe to your channel. Like, I know it's the best application for your mobile device, but who is your creators, parents, lawyers, doctors? Welcome, Shelly. Good to see you here as well. Got a lot of good people here. So with that, I will take a look at a video. Ooh. So why no tagging? We're getting a little meta here. So the first thing I have to say is there is no cards in this video. That's the first thing I noticed right off the bat. So add that cards. Now, how to tag people in live chat on mobile, on YouTube mobile. Man. So when you focus on what you've said this video is about, which is the tag people in live chat, how to tag people in live chat, and how to tag people in live chat, you actually rank. But YouTube live stream chat, while they are relevant, they are not this. While they're kind of related, they're not the same thing as what you're talking about. So mobile apps, YouTube app, all these other stuff aren't working well for what you have present. So that is something you really need to kind of consider. So what I would say here for you is I don't actually see how to tag people in mobile live chat. You're ranking, but it's not here, you see? And it's these like similar ideas, how to tag people in mobile live chat. And this is a tag that I've not seen this video, just based on what you've titled it, based on kind of how you have it tagged here. How to tag people in live chat on YouTube. In this video, I talk about the most interactive tools on YouTube. The live stream chat is where everyone interacts with each other and the streamers can see questions. Again, I'd maybe try to tie that into mobile, though it's a little more advanced than what we've seen thus far. And to the people earlier, you see how it kind of ties back into both the title and the tags. So again, really kind of hyper focus on, again, YouTube basically just wants you to keep restating what the title is so it has more relevant information. And yes, the more you give it, the better it can do. And again, the thing I would search for is how to tag people in live chat on YouTube mobile. Is this actually teaching them that, or is it just a rant about not being able to do that? Because you could argue, and this is something I'd be weary of, is if it's not exactly like one-to-one, someone could flag this as misleading, so be careful. To be honest, I didn't even optimize this one video. To be fair, you called it tagging, so I mean, you gotta optimize every video. You can't hold out on me. But it does show a good example of kind of a misinformation. And just kind of like a missed opportunity. But if there's a better video you think that fits it, apps that rule, I'm definitely down to check it out. Also, I'm never sure if people want me to call them by their channel name or by their first name. I usually go by channel name, so if people are watching the replay, they kind of understand a little. But for me, those are kind of the things I'm noticing. People seem to really like it from your community, though, so that's good. That's something to really kind of think about. But since you said that you didn't really optimize this one that well, let's go for the best weather app for iPhone. So the best weather app for iPhone looks really good. So one thing I would say here is, I'm not sure if you've hit the 500 character, but you're pretty much destroying the SEO in a positive way. I'm noticing that you haven't shared on Twitter, and it seems like you haven't shared on Facebook. That's always something good here. One thing I'm noticing, though, is 0 out of the 20 of these videos are suggesting this content. So do you have a lot of weather apps? Because if not, I'm sure you can do like best free weather apps or best, like, there are a lot of ways you can kind of recreate the wheel on this one, because I'm sure there are more than just one. And any way you can do that is positive, especially if you can create similar related apps and put them in a playlist. So is this a paid app? So you could do the best free weather app for iPhone, which you might be ranking #1 in, which definitely seems you are. I'm not sure if this is actual free app, but that's another way that you could add it. And again, you can see kind of the results here. So there are 80,000 searches for this a month, which is great. So if we go to the best free weather app for iPhone, you can still see there's a decent amount of search. There's a lot of things. Not yet. I only have about 9 videos on the channel working on top weather apps at some point. Apps that rule, I would say keep on this, because this is doing well for your channel, and find ways to also get them on other content, right? Like as a creator, right? So like if you want to, like for weather apps, maybe you can at the end of this say, and if you want a good app to see the route you're going, check out this Google Map alternative or something like that, so what kind of ties into weather but also fits into things you're doing. Lots of Anchor podcast stuff so far, LOL. And again, you're kind of built around apps, But are these apps for creators? Are these apps for the everyday person? That's kind of where the your isn't defined enough. And so not knowing that makes it a little hard to know at the moment. So all things mobile podcasting seems to be the thing you're focusing on the most. Daniel, I am also going to be helping out Brian G as well, so I feel that one. But yeah, this is kind of where all things, like you have all things mobile podcasting, it's that your, right? Because if I'm someone who finds your channel on weather app, why would I ever click on your podcasting app? Right? Because that, while you are doing good for this video, I would want more apps based around weather and things like that. So you got to find a way to really tie it in somewhere. So it's one of those things I would really kind of hone in on who you're trying to help. Because when you say your mobile device, it's still too broad to know who you're trying to help. And when I see the best weather app, I'm seeing more content related apps. Now, if the best weather app is focused around like why you should check the weather before you go out and shoot a video or something, then that's a natural thing. But at the moment, it's a little bit confusing. So yeah, it's kind of what I would say on that. Bouncing around with different things to build my catalog and create playlists. Well, that's not a bad idea. If you create content, like let's say you create a lot of videos for just, you can create one-off videos where they find you for the one thing, that's it, and then they leave and they never come back. So yeah, you're getting views, but you're not building that audience. You're not building it around people you want. So really, who is the your in for the best for your mobile device? Who is it, right? That's kind of where I would say is the holdup I'm seeing on this channel. And until you kind of define that, it seems like it's creator focused. There's nothing wrong with being creator focused. Because for me, looking here, I can see why I care about the podcast. I can see where I care about editing. I can see where I care about like these noise stuff. But what if you get a lot of viewers and subscribers from the weather app for your phone? What is the reason for them to go over to the other pieces of content, right? So that would be my question to you, because it seems the thing you really are caring about is that creator. So that's something I would just kind of keep in mind. So with that though, I can see that you have good SEO practices. You just kind of have to remember to do it. So like for the why no tagging, so I would say I'd give you a B+. You're good, but don't get lazy, and really kind of hone in on who that your is about. But hopefully that you find that helpful. And hello, Christina. Good to see you. People are talking to Daniel about some of the fun we're going to be having in LA. Whew, man, we got a lot to do, but that's the most fun about being on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of things to say. That's what makes it worth doing day by day. Apps That Rules, you are very welcome. Again, really just kind of focus on who you want to be helping with these videos. Because if you're trying to help everyone, at a certain point, you're never going to find a dedicated community when you're trying to help everyone. If you try to save everyone, you usually save no one. But if you can focus it in on those creators, because there's an easy way you can bring those weather apps back to creators. I need to know the weather bad if I'm going to do a shoot, like with Brian G. Johnson down at Venice Beach or something like that. It's one of those things where we would need to figure out the weather. Let's say we're wanting to go to Santa Monica. Let's say we want to go to anywhere in California. If it's raining, it might not be a good idea. And you may be like, it doesn't rain in California. The weather in 2019 begs to differ. It's been a very rainy year. But with that, I think it is time to look at Scully's House of Thrillers. So, from my understanding, never invite me to a party, Justin. If it's all about high on life, I may not survive. So the first thing I would say, just kind of looking at your channel, is Scully's House of Thrillers, reading of my novels, writing tutorials. So it seems like you're really focused on kind of the novel reading portion. So what I would do for you is maybe have... Well, thank you so much, Christina. How come you don't have super stickers? Grr. I'm assuming you mean within OBS? I'm not too sure. I can get you some TubeBuddy stickers at Vid Summit. Not sure if that's gonna do what you're asking, but that is something. But as we look here, I would say what I'd like to see is maybe since you do readings, it's like start like maybe you can do just on your channel here like your most recent readings and things like that. Like start on episode 1 of my readings, and then you can do like Dutch Coffee Shop. You can do maybe for other things of that nature. So the one thing I'm seeing here that immediately, no, YouTube has super chat stickers. Apps That Rule says, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Joe. I do appreciate it. You demand at Andrew Can. Thank you, Paul Peck. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats. Super chat stickers, I am unaware. You might have just taught me something. And if I don't have super chat stickers, then I might need... I wonder if Andrew would yodel. If you hear this scratchy voice, I'm not sure how good it would be. Christina started the super chat war. Everyone follow. Thank you so much, Neo Crypto Cruising. I do greatly appreciate it. Everyone who's... I get overwhelmed by super chats, so I'm just so thankful. I do appreciate it. I want to be on Creator Chaos, by the way. I know there are 2 of you, or I think a lot of you actually, who are in there, are in this. So next time you guys are doing it, let me know. I'd love to be a part if I can. I don't want to just impose myself, but thank you for the super chats. Yodel? I don't even know how to yodel though. That's the problem. Oh boy. LOL Critter. Yodelehi who? I want you on Chaos? Alright, everyone. If this is awful, I am sick. So this is the one time I can use it. But don't worry. I have more water, and this one won't make Neil upset. Yodelehi hoo. Sorry if that is awful. I've never yodeled before today. But let's go back to Scully, who's been waiting patiently. He's like, I didn't come here for yodeling. I don't do these things. I'm to Andrew for sometimes advice. So again, I was interested in writing on YouTube for creators. I feel like this is definitely 50 likes. Gonna go ahead and drop you another. So let's see kind of the SEO. Super chat stickers is mentioned on latest Creator Insider's last video. Huh. I wonder if it's a 10K sub requirement or not, because I don't have access when I look here on the back end on my other monitor. So it also could just be a beta rollout. I'm not privy to. So looking here, I would say, so writing on YouTube for creators, pretty fair. Scully's House of Thrillers is the only thing you are ranking for. So you titled it Writing on YouTube for Creators. So you're competing with Nick Nimmin, How to Write Tags. So I'm assuming this video is about like book writing, but you're going to be competing with script writing. You're going to be competing with a lot of people talking about writing scripts. Daryl, YouTube creators, Nick. There's Dan Courier from Creator Fundamentals. Even YouTube creators just generally. So I would say you might need to be a lot more specific on this video specifically. So because you're an author writing books on YouTube. No, you don't, Paul Peck, says Christina. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I do greatly appreciate that. That threw me off guard. But I don't have stickers. I can triple, quadruple check for you, but I seem to not have them. I don't know why. But now I gotta add Christina to the queue. I gotta add who all left super chats. So added to the queue. Added to the queue. All right. Well, I really like your banner, Christina, before I forget to say it. But now, this kind of goes into what your video is about. So, writing books on YouTube for creators might be a little... Paul Peck, thank you again for the $9.99 super chat. Paul, you need to come out to Vid Summit if you are. UK winning the battle, that's like $22. Excuse me. I'm dying. Thank you so much, Crypto Cruising. Oh, gosh. You have to enable super stickers when you log into Creator Studio and then go to live. Interesting. For the yodel, Dusty wouldn't do it. LOL, no review necessary. Thank you, Flash, in your plan. You are making me choke. I am very overwhelmed at the moment. So, I do appreciate the super... I feel so bad for Scully. He's just trying to get his SEO review, and I'm just choking. I'm dying. I'm yodeling. All right, let's get some focus. We can do this. Whew. All right, writing books on YouTube for creators. Let's kind of take a look at maybe that. So when looking here, it seems like there's a little bit more availability on that one, especially within the title space, because I feel that, especially, and again, this is just a feeling, is one of those things where you really got to work hard on making sure you know who you're trying to reach. So that would be my only thing here. And I feel that when you're doing these kind of things, you want to make sure that you are talking to as many people as possible. What the heck? Oh no. Uh-oh. My computer decided to freeze. Am I still live? I don't know. Oh God. Hey. I'm here live with you folks. All right. I have a name. I'm not just a channel. I am sorry, Neil. Oh. All right. I think I'm fine. Can you guys see my screen? It froze before. I feel I'm fine now. All right. We hear you. Am I back? I win. Says Paul Peck. This is not the war I knew. Scully, are you still here? He is. I see the purple heart. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for being patient. But kind of looking here, writing on YouTube for creators, the main thing I'm seeing is I'm not too sure. Okay, so you can see me. My computer can figure out what it's trying to do at the moment. It's loading for me. So as long as you guys can see me, I can see the chat. Welcome, you do it. You've been back. Oh, okay, I'm not too sure what's happening tonight. But my computer's trying to figure itself out. The main focus I'm having is that when it comes to writing on YouTube for creators, what are they writing specifically? The more specific you are in that title, the better you can be when it comes to searchability. Because if you're trying to help inspiring young authors, then maybe you focus it a little bit more towards that. That can really make all the difference. But seeing here, Yodel for the fans. Yodel-hee-hoo. I'm from the town of a lowly goat herd. Yodel-hee-hoo. There you are. Sorry if that is awful. I am not good. Is my screen back? That is the question. It unfroze. You may have actually caused some problems. Google Chrome was like, I need more RAM for all these super chats. But thank you, in all seriousness, for all the super chats. It really does mean a lot. Another yodel for your fans. We are so off base. That is impressive. I hope that fits your second yodel requirement. Want to help creators on this video? Neil, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Need to turn that into a phone notification. Oh man, I get copyright strikes from Sound of Music. It wouldn't shock me, but it would. I wonder though, if I got a copyright strike on a stream with super chats, would they get? I don't know. That's actually a question I have. But going back to Scully's, I want to help creators on this video. So it really did turn into Creator Chaos Midnight Madness. Whew. Very good yodel. At least my pick stays on the screen. Someone's going to watch this and be like, I have no idea what's happening. I thought he was an expert in SEO. He has no idea. He yodels. So, all right. Author reading their books, author reading a story. The only thing I would say is there's a little bit of a disconnect when it comes to what I'm seeing here, because you're saying that this is about author reading a book on YouTube. Are you reading in this? Because if I'm YouTube, I'd have a hard time kind of justifying where to put this. Because, Paul Peck, thank you for another $10 super chat. I would have a hard time figuring out where to put this because I wouldn't necessarily know what to put this. Also, Neil now has the highest super chat I've ever had on the channel, so you can take that, Neil, for what it is worth. Writing on YouTube for creators. You're trying to help creators, but the SEO and the searchability, it's like this played very well to your core audience, which is good. But I think you want to reach past just your core audience, and I think for that it might be a little bit of a focus on what this video is truly about. And if it's just about writing on YouTube for creators, like what it's like to write on YouTube for creators, it might just be one of those things where you could just make a simple change in the title, because I do think it's hit your immediate core audience, but I think you want it to live on past them. Now, Scully, since I have been very sidetracked, is there an actual video specifically you would like me to take a look at? Because I know we have gotten way off track. I do appreciate all the super chats, everyone. It does mean a lot. I am very overwhelmed. So I do appreciate all that. I have added all three of you to the queue in the little war that was going on, which was unexpected. And I will ask you what videos you would like me to take a look at. The thumbnail says it. Is that the name of the video, or is that what you're saying for this video, Scully? Cure for boredom. So is this video about, chapter 9? Part 1, or I'm assuming? So this video, and let me know if I'm correct on this, Scully. So I should also transition back. People are hashtagging creator chaos, hashtag creator chaos. Can't argue with that. Scully says yes, this is it. So, author reading Dutch Coffee Shop, Scully's House of Fillers. So, author reading aloud, I would maybe, if Dutch Coffee Shop is the book, maybe focus a little bit more on that. So Dutch coffee shop reading. Let's just go there and see kind of this. So you are pretty much dominating the area, which means that for this, you are actually your own main competition. So for this, the main thing I would just say is focusing on getting these videos to relate to one another, because if you're the number one in all of the searches for this, what I would like to see more for you, Scully, is seeing some of these suggested videos from this creator be there. And some of the things that can help is having all of these in a series playlist, linking to the playlist within the cards. And I see you go back to the beginning, and I see that this is a playlist link as well. So it's just kind of keeping on all of this. And then, excuse me, making sure that you are relating back. Now, author reading a story is probably not going to do that much in the grand scheme of how this is working. Welcome, Red Screen Ninjas. Welcome to the chaos that is this stream. So maybe we can go with author reading, let's just say coffee shop, right? Just another way to put it. It might not be as specific, but I'm curious. So author reading coffee shop, you are ranking for it. And then I would be a little more specific. And then you can be like chapter 9. And remember to add Dutch coffee shop back to it. Now, yeah, there are not as many results, but you do show up for it. And again, what you want to do is find as many ways to rephrase that an author is reading Dutch coffee shop, because that's how you're going to show up in the suggested. And what you want is when someone clicks on any one of these videos, you dominate the suggested. Again, for what you have here and for what you found just from your titling and just kind of how you describe it, you are doing very well when it comes to this book in particular. But the thing is these same practices on larger books will help you go farther. So kind of keep that all in mind. Overall, what I'd like to see more is maybe a little more featured playlist, maybe a playlist that has the beginning chapter to all the books on your channel. I see you have a welcome to my channel like video, and I'm assuming that this is your channel trailer, but I'd like to see your books kind of laid out here. So overall, I would say you have a decent understanding of SEO. I would just like to see just a little bit more. So I'm going to give you a B straight, and I think that you really need to focus on restating the title, things like that. Red Screen Ninjas, that changes per channel per person, so that would be where your analytics would be the best person to tell you what's an average suggested video, because that is based on your channel. It's based on a lot of different factors. Christina, ask Andrew who's the highest super chatter. That's all that matters. Wow, it is Neil. I gotta give it to him. So with that, we will start with you, Neil, in the video SEO reviews. So transition over. Which video would you like me to take a look at, Neil? I'm curious. Drywall Paul is just in denial. Paul has given the most super chats today. So Paul has definitely won that. He has given the most as of today. The highest goes to Neil, the most goes to Paul. Christina actually, Paul and Christina looking here are tied. So, Paul, you're tied. Unless my YouTube super chat isn't up to date, and in that case, sorry about that. Scully, thank you so much. Scully's House of Thrillers, thank you so much for being so patient through all of that. I do appreciate it. I've got better SEO than you, Neil. Oof, those are fighting words, Paul. They may be accurate. I call for a super chat review. I actually don't know if I'm allowed to show that you do it within the YouTube terms of service, because it could technically break the what you can show in the monetization side. Thank you again, Neil, for the super chat. Wow, he's been lazy lately. So, Neil, which video would you like me to take a look at? Because if you don't tell me, I'll just choose one. And all right, I can't show it, so I was right on that. Let's go with top 5 reasons to buy cryptocurrency. I think this is a very good video for your channel. Go ahead and drop a like. So here's the thing. I don't see info cards. Hello, Jay. Good to see you. I saw a little bit of your stream earlier today. Crypto cruising, top 5 reasons to buy crypto. So when you focus it on what you've titled it, top 5 reasons to buy crypto, I'm pretty sure you're going to dominate it. So if we go top 5 reasons to buy cryptocurrency, I'm sure that this will help you out as well, Neil. Interesting. It's a little more competitive than just to buy crypto. But it does have a lot of search results. The latest one with the new backdrop. Okay, let's go. Crypto cruising. Is it this one, or you said with your new backdrop? So I'll just choose your 1 week ago. Paul Peck, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Red Ninja says, I don't understand the info card. Wouldn't that draw people away and should be placed towards the end? Red Screen Ninja, it depends what your video is about. If you are on episode 9 of a series, which was Scully's review, I'd recommend putting it in just in case the people want to easily get to the beginning, and then you can put them into a playlist. Again, it depends on what the video is about, where people are going to be. And with that, Paul Peck has now donated the most tonight, which is insane. Thank you, Paul. But hopefully that answers your question. And Neil, I'm not sure if this is it. But this is the new back. Wow, that looks amazing. And I like how it's in black. And I like the cubes that, or not the cubes, I apologize. The 6-sided shape. Well, these are the cubes. But I like that this fits your branding on the channel. I think that looks really good. And even though I believe this is a live stream, cryptocurrency market update news. So that's something you can definitely maybe think of. Like when you talk about cryptocurrency market update news, this is something to where I would maybe put that, because you have cryptocurrency news channel, but this is what you said the stream was about. So similarly, that's kind of where the SEO should focus. So if we hit explore, it might be that it's super competitive and it almost changes daily, which may be the reason not to focus on it. You may just want this live stream to be, you know, just that, a live stream. But it seems like this is actually super competitive with the market updates. But for a live, that's not a bad idea. Wow, Red Screen Ninjas comes out of nowhere. $21 super chat. Red Screen Ninjas, you are added to the queue. Neil, you have been dethroned. I am dying. Thank you. I didn't bring enough water. Thank you, Red Screen Super Chats. You are added to the queue. Oh. But Neil, this looks fantastic. I see that you said Christina helped you design it. I think it looks really good. I like the green in the stormtrooper's eyes. I really hope you do get to go to, you know, Galaxy's Edge. Looking here, though, I think for what you're doing for the stream, it makes a lot of sense. going back to your other video though, I think that if you can really position yourself with the top 5 reasons for buying crypto, you can really do well in positioning yourself is the cryptocurrency channel, which I think that is something you would like to do. And I think that you have a lot of content within it that brings value. I would just say kind of focus on maybe more content like that and really optimizing it for search, because these are things that are going to help that beginner. These are helpful pieces of content that can really go far. And I do like your new set background, and I'm kind of curious on what your trajectory is going to be. However, oh my god. All right. Crypto Cruising comes in with a $48.99 super chat. I'm not sure the conversion. The ultimate highest super chat goes to Neil. Thank you, Crypto Cruising, Neil. Everyone, please go subscribe to Neil if you have not already. I'll make sure to do it on this channel as well. Actually, I'll keep subscribed on TubeBuddy and Andrew K, where I actually will watch. Red Screen Ninjas is like, wow. I'm like, wow. Neil, thank you so much. I've got to make sure you get more than just a bottle at VidCon. I need to make sure you get all the TubeBuddy swag, your lens cloth, a bottle. Do you want a notebook? So, Neil, thank you so much for the super chat. I would give your SEO on the video I saw, I'd actually give you a C+. And I think it's just because there are some ways that you can be the authority on it. And I definitely think that is something you can just kind of improve on that. And because of how much you've donated in this stream at VidSummit, I will literally sit down with you and just give you a deep dive onto your YouTube channel. So VidCon is July 10th through 13th, Red Screen Ninjas. And if you're going to that, please stop by the TubeBuddy booth. So, Neil, you basically get an hour channel sit down with all you've given. So, yeah, just come stop me at VidSummit. With that, Neil, great job. I know you're doing very well on your channel. I like the new set. God. This is not what I thought was going to happen in the stream. I was just here to enjoy some video SEOs. Now I got to learn about stickers. And thank you, guys. I do greatly appreciate it. I look forward to meeting you all at VidSummit. VidCon US is going to once again be at the Anaheim Convention Center. All right. So, we have Red Screen Ninjas. Dude, you can sit down with me and have a beer. All right, Crypto Cruising, then I'm buying. Although at this point, it's probably just going to be with the money you donated, but thank you. So, Red Screen Ninjas, is there a video specifically you want me to take a look at? Because I see you have some videos here. So, is there anything you would like me to take a specific look at? Because if not, I'll just kind of take a look at some of these. This one looks the most SEO focused from my point of view. Welcome to this edition of Red Screen Ninjas. In this episode, I'll show you how to never lose your winnings ever again at the casino with this winner's back 200. Be sure to leave a comment. Wow. Definitely got my attention. The newest one. All right. So 7 hours. So the reason, so looking here, so you're ranking for Red Screen Ninjas, you're ranking for Gambino slot coins, Gambino slots. So what I would say is, because you told YouTube this is about Gambino slots, and I'll click here, the one thing I would really want you to focus on is either you want to go for what people would be interested in. Biggest slot, I would maybe say biggest 1 million slot win ever caught live or something like that, something that's a little bit more searchable. So looking here, right, if we're going to go with this, let's go with Gambino slot win real money, or a Gambino slot wins, because you might actually be showing up for this. Yeah, you're actually ranking #1 for this, and this is just based off of what you've told YouTube this video is about. So I'm hopefully pronouncing this correctly. Gambino slots, biggest red slot win ever. So Gambino slots win. Maybe if we go focus on biggest Gambino slot wins, again, you're showing up here for biggest Gambino slot wins. And again, you want to kind of look at the search results though, because we only have 12.8K. So that's why I've said the more specific you get, you may not show that. So winning 1 million on the slots, just as an idea. Results has a little bit more. Winning 1 million on, you can do Gambino slots, which again, the results for it are kind of low, and you're actually, again, looking here, ranking pretty well. So it's a lot of the things is, no, this isn't per month. This is just overall. So if it had monthly, it would actually show it differently. So slots may actually, yeah. So as you can see, number of searches per month would be identified with the actual number of searches per month. This is just number of video search results. Now, usually if it doesn't have a search per month, there's probably not enough data for us to collect on it. So that's something you can think of, keep in mind. Slot winning 1 million. And again, this may also change because this video is so new. But when you focus on Gambino slots, anyone looking for that specifically is being served currently your video. Hey, I'm not super chatting in a hole, and I like Andrew. He's a nice chap, and it's good to support, and it's a good laugh to get into a war. Well, Neil, thank you. I'm heading off to bed. Got to get up early. Have a good night, day, and thanks for the tips, Andrew. 3D Plastic Fantasy, thank you so much for the opportunity to take a look at your channel. So one thing I would also say, kind of looking here, Red Screen Ninjas, is welcome to this edition of Red Screen Ninjas. I would maybe focus this a little bit more on what you've titled your video. So maybe, welcome to Red Screen Ninjas. This edition, we're doing Gambino slots, where I show the biggest slot win ever, over 100, or not over 100, over 1 million caught live, and you can kind of just focus on that. And good evening, Mike Phillips. Where's that Peck fellow gone, says Neil. But yeah, this is one of those things where you can really kind of focus on making sure when you do these biggest slot wins ever, this one can have a really good chance of being suggested because it's super easy and super like relatable. But even look here, like look at what's being suggested for you. It's the name of the slot and then big win bonus. Like, I would say biggest over 1 million slot win caught live or something like that. Just kind of see where you can do for that. But again, when you focus on Gambino slots, when you focus on what you've titled the video, you do rank. But when you go into VGT slot machine wins, you're not ranking because it's, well, I understand why it's relevant. YouTube's having a hard time. So I hope that helps. Andrew, I now know how Nick Nimmin feels. I've never seen so many super chats in my channel ever. So I do appreciate this, guys. But hopefully that actually gives you some things to think about, Red Screen Ninjas. And hopefully that makes sense to you. Because the way YouTube is going to serve this is it's going to focus on what you titled it. So when you focused on Gambino slots, that's where it's serving it to people at the moment. Because that's what it knows. So this video is a sponsored video by Gambino slots, so it is good that you disclose that. So what I usually tell people is anytime you do like a sponsored video, always disclose. It's the law here in the States. But I would say for you specifically, should I add VGTs to the title? I would say your title is already pretty long on this, and the only reason I would add that is if it makes sense to add it to your video. So let's transition back. But I would focus on what you have here. Looking here, VGT doesn't have that many comparatively to what you already have. And you would be just competing against some of your own content. I mean, if you want to really dominate for this is something you could do. Con mucho sabor. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you so much. Good tips to grow our channels. I appreciate Paul Peck. Oh. Since VGT is my normal audience, Red Screen Ninjas, then if that is your normal audience and if it's relevant to the content, then find a way to do it. But remember, do you want to reach outside of your normal audience or do you want to reach just your audience? Neil Paul Peck with a $50 super chat has now taken the #1 spot and now has the most donations. He is owning both of those spots currently. Thank you guys so much. Does mean a lot. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. So Red Screen Ninjas, when it comes to the VGT slot machines, that would be a your call. And it kind of goes into, you're already ranking for Gambino slots. So do you want to reach people that may not know you or people that already know you? I would always kind of go to the side of people that don't know you. Midnight Madness, they're working their way up there, I'll tell you. I don't have enough liquid in my system to cry because I'm sick and I'm sneezing and I'm a little overwhelmed, if I'm honest. See you next Wednesday. Oh, God. Well, Paul and Neil, I'll see you both maybe in Creator Chaos. We need to talk about that. But Red Screen Ninjas, it's kind of, when it comes to that, I would say whichever gives you the bigger potential to reach new people is what I'd go with. If a competitor's name and keyword, if it's not relevant to the video and you stuff your video with a competitor's keyword, I have seen channels that have been doing that get community strikes for misleading metadata. So I would always say no. It can get you in trouble, and I've seen too many people get hurt, so I can't recommend you do that. But with that, Red Screen Ninjas, like, you are ranking when you focus on your title. Again, you know not to use kind of the one-word keywords. I do see maybe some catch-alls, but overall, it's pretty well stated. I would just say maybe really kind of focus on the title for the videos, because whatever you title it is what your tags and your description are based out of. I'd give you an easy B-, and just some minor changes can take you to a higher one. Neil says that Paul is afraid of Creator Chaos. But hopefully, Red Screen Ninjas, that helps a little bit. Because again, I want to make sure you're not doing anything that can get you hurt on YouTube. And I want to make sure that your content is being served to the audience you want to build. So if it is around VGT slots, and that makes sense to add to this video, go for it. So now, we are at Paul Peck Drywall Tube, who has given so much tonight. Paul, thank you so much. You need to go to one of these events. I need to shake your hand. I need to meet you. We always talk so highly about your channel at events, so I'd love to see you. Looks like they're only getting hurt financially right now, says Midnight Madness. I don't know. How do you get 100K views? With your kind of content, Red Screen Ninjas, it's going to be really focused on making sure you have titles that not only engage your core audience, but if I'm someone who's never seen your channel, would be like enticed to click, I definitely think the winning over $1 million is enticed me. So that is something to keep in mind. And Christina, I have you in the queue. Do not worry. You will be taken a look at momentarily. So with that, Paul, which video would you like me to take a look at? Andrew, can you review Christina, please? Sure. Christina, which video would you like me to take a look at? So whoever replies first at this point. Oh no. Oops. 1 second, folks. Water and mixing boards don't work. I'm back, folks. 1 second. Whew. That is why you put on some. You always make sure to utilize your water filters. Look at my thumbs, please. All right, today we are taking a look at Christina's thumbs. All right, I like the black fingernail polish. It is a interesting choice, especially I like how it matches your outfits. I am all right. The other thumb is a little bit too hidden behind the house, but overall some good looking thumbs. Definitely holds up the house. What now? Joking. So you want to take a look at your most recent thumbnails, I'm assuming. So again, I don't have your CTR data and I don't know much outside of, just what I can see, but I can give you my opinion. And so the ones that make me like grab my attention immediately, obviously, are the ones where you're pointing at me and telling me I'm fired. I like the one with the mortgage, especially because just your face in the house really compels me to, like, that's how I feel about mortgages personally. So those two immediately get me to grab my attention. I also kind of like the top 5 apps because when it comes to what your channel is about, which is real estate, it makes me interested. Like, what apps am I not utilizing when it comes to this? So for that, I would say they grab my attention and they do what I think you want them to. Now, what I'd ask you is, what is their CTR? Because while I like them, more important is how your audience reacts to them. So that's what I always kind of tell people when it comes to it. Like, I can give you an opinion, but I always would like to know your CTR data, because part of the CTR is also what your title is, right? So if I were to click on "too scared to buy a home" or "fire your real estate," I kind of like that you're fired. I actually want to take a look at this one. First of all, my reputation alone is what sells houses. I love that because I've gone with a few friends who have tried to buy homes, and I've heard that from an actual realtor. So you hit that on just, oh god, like, yeah, I've heard that actually before, and I've seen that in ads here in California. So spot on. I just changed them. I'm testing. So looking here, fire your real estate agent if they're not doing this. Fire your real estate agent. I would maybe go with when to fire your real estate agent, which has 2.96 million review results. And I'd say maybe kind of looking at that as a way for you to, and hey, you're actually number 27, so you're showing up. So things like that are actually super crucial for you to kind of think of. And maybe we just go fire your real estate agent, just like go straight for there. Fire your real estate agent. You may be ranking. And number 19, fire your real estate agent. Like, just having that is something you are ranking for. So just in your YouTube metadata here, like you are ranking pretty well for Fire Your Real Estate Agent. Like add these tags like right now, because these tags are going to help you do even better in relevancy compared to some of these other ones. So maybe why you should fire your real estate agent. Again, I'm just coming up with things that are similar to this. Number 20, why you should fire your real estate agent, but it's all relevant and similar to different ways. Pick my trailer video for the SEO checkup. Will do, Paul. But Christina, like just looking here, these are things you are ranking for, but are not in your tags. So I would add them immediately. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. And then I would say, yes, I said it, fire your real estate agent if they're not doing this. Using video to sell your home. If you're about to list your home for sale, the first question I want you to ask your real estate agent is, how will you use this video to market my home? And then ask them for examples. That's so narrow and long of a keyword. But while it is narrow and it is long, people are looking for it, and they're looking for it in different ways. That's what we find. That's the interesting part. Like you don't like how an audience member finds your video can be different per person. So that's something I'd keep in mind too. And I like how you restate the title within your description. Again, just kind of keep focus on fire your real estate agent. That's the angle where people will find this, because apparently people want to know when's the time. And I just want to check, have you shared this on Twitter? It seems you haven't, which is something I'd recommend doing. And another thing, fire your real estate agent if they're not doing this. Maybe you can link at the end when to hire a real estate agent or what to look for when hiring a real estate agent. Both of those are super crucial when it comes to. So Red Screen Ninja says you rank number 1 for all these long tail keyword searches that no one's searching for. We don't have enough data for searches per month, but we know that it's fair for search volume. And we know that there are a lot of results, meaning that what we want is for her to be served. So having these isn't that bad of an idea, because this is something that people will search for. It's just kind of the nature of how it works when it comes to a video like this. Christina says, I am making a video on hiring a real estate agent. So what I would do for a kind of thumbnail thing is, you have you're fired, just put the H here, you're hired, and similar idea. And maybe that can, I think, again, based on the CTR on this. So I do like what the thumbs look like. I would just say, look at your CTR, because that's just my opinion, and that's going to give you more information than my opinion will. So hopefully that is helpful for you, Christina. When it comes to kind of like the SEO I'm seeing on this video in particular, it's not bad. It's just really focus in on what that title is saying. And because if you can make that hired video and link these two together, then that is a good kind of watch loop you're creating for yourself. Again, for you, I would give your channel, I'd probably give you a B-, because you found a really good title. It's more so making sure your supporting metadata matches up with that. So hopefully that helps you out, Christina. Thank you so much for all the super chats, everyone. Christina, I know you gave me some as well. I do graciously appreciate it. Thank you. Paul and Neil are, I think you two would have a lot of fun in real life. So I would love to see you two meeting. Paul is asking me for his channel trailer. So just so I know, I want to transition over. And this is your channel trailer, correct, Paul? The how to apply a skim coat to your walls for a smooth finish. I want to make sure that I have the right video. Drop a like. Con mucho sabor, I have added you to the queue. I just have to get through the super chat ones first. That is always kind of the way I go around it. I focus on super chats first and then make it to the free ones. Yes, you can, Christina. And please, I hope you make those changes to that video because you can make a watch loop between those two. Paul says yes. 533,000 views. 969 or 969,000 views, Paul. So Paul is asking me some questions here. SEO wise looks pretty good. The how-to skim and skimming, I'd be curious on. The drywall DIY sheetrock. How to apply a skim coat. Do you have on walls? You have to your walls, but you don't have on walls, which I'm pretty sure you're probably ranking for. You are, but actually you're, again, Paul, you have this thing where your biggest competition is yourself. So how to apply a skim coat on walls might make more sense. Skim coating techniques. Another one you could easily do is how to apply a skim coat easily, right? Like that might be a way people search. And it seems like this is the video here, so you are ranking number 5 for it. So that's just another way you could do it. Red Screen Ninja asks, emojis, since they are nothing but colons and hyphens, will they prevent you from climbing on SEO keywords? So YouTube has stated that they look right through them, Red Screen Ninjas, so essentially they don't count them in. I would say if your video title is like it's 69 characters and you're about to hit the 70, go ahead and throw an emoji. But if you have more valuable places you can use those characters for your title length, I'd use those. Another thing I would say is you have skim coating techniques, so maybe beginner skim coating techniques might be a good one to focus on. And again, this may not have the most, but it's just another way someone might find you. And again, you're kind of dominating everything else here, Paul. So like, I'm just trying to find ways people might be able to find you. Because Paul, you have SEO down so well. It's something that you do just really well. The only thing I would say is make sure you have this in a series playlist. I see you have a playlist. You have your shop. Smart. Again, Paul, you do a lot well. There's just like little things you can really do here. So maybe skimming a wall for beginners is something you might probably show for. And if not, you have your beginner's tutorial, which you are showing for. So again, you are your biggest competition. But here this video is showing. So the more if you put that tag in, this other tutorial can easily be suggested near it. So that's something you could do for that. Midnight Madness is saying he's hitting the nail right on the forehead. On Mucho Sabor says mine is a cooking channel. Would you take a look? Again, you have been added to the queue. I have you over here on the other screen just to kind of show that. So don't worry, I will get to you. But yeah, Paul, what I would say is this video could easily be a good video that suggests to your other content that are similar to these things. So one thing I see you have is drywall tutorial. So maybe skimming a wall tutorial. It's another way to put it. Very good. 584K. I'm not sure. And here you are, number 7. So just another way to rephrase it. You're ranking for it. Add it. It's not going to hurt you. And it can kind of help your suggested because, Paul, you really dominate this whole section here. But hopefully, Paul, you were able to find just those little things that you already are ranking for. Again, just help your content a little bit more with those things. And Paul, you're to a point where you are ranking so well for this stuff, you are your competition, which is a positive problem to have within your niche. So, Paul, you always do well. Andrew said I can have him for an hour for advice. I said no, but you can take the hour if it's still available. I'll get the beer in. So yeah, if you want to give that away, crypto, tell me who you would like me to take a look at. That's for sure. I'll sit down. We can all just chat, and maybe you can learn some things if whoever's fine with that. But Paul, again, SEO wise, I'd easily give you an A to A plus, just depending. Like, Paul, you really have this nailed down. It's just those smaller things, and again, a second look for new ways you might not have thought of. Scully's House to Throw says, man, Paul's got an awesome channel. He really does. Paul, keep crushing it. We'll keep talking about you positively. Because, Paul, you are the kind of channel we hope. Well, Paul, that makes me happy to hear, but you're a shining example of like what SEO can do to help propel a channel to the stratosphere. And Paul, keep climbing. Keep working and keep teaching people valuable skills. I was taught when I helped my ex's grandfather that if a man built it, a man can fix it. And I think your channel is a great example. Or a woman. If a woman made it, or if a human made it, whatever, I'm not discriminating. If a human made it, a human can fix it. Heck, who knows? We'll probably get to a point where robots or even cats and dogs can do it. So who knows? The rate we're going. So yeah, definitely. Just remind me, and I definitely think that is something we can easily do, Neil, at Vid Summit. So just remind me to take a look, because I know myself and I'll get distracted and busy. But just sit me down, just come by the booth and remind me, and I'll definitely take the time. Exactly, Scully. We all start at 0. So I believe that this is translated some of this. Okay, it has translated some. So I'm actually not so sure. I'll translate so I can understand. With much taste. Makes sense. Con mucho sabor. Francisco is your name here. What I would say, with much taste, I would like to see a little bit more of kind of maybe the foods you have to offer. I do kind of like this blurry background, but I would like to see a little bit more. I can tell you're really heavily optimized for mobile, but here on the desktop, there are these sections of white, which I would love to see some more things filled in. Just kind of looking at your channel, another thing I'd like to see is some links, maybe just to tell people to subscribe to your channel. I think the translation is causing some weird bugs. Paul Peck says, if another human can do it, I can do it, has been my motto for years. And again, that is just kind of, that mindset is kind of what inspired the if I can, you can too. I realize I'm not sharing my screen, so go back. It means lots of flavor. So I'd like to see some things here. Like if it's of lots of flavors, let's show some of the flavors you feature on the channel here and here. I'd like to see some maybe subscribe link here so people know to subscribe to your channel. Welcome to my cooking channel. I think cooking is a passion, a way of life, and a way to join each culture. I would love something like that in here. Helping cultures come together through cooking, I think, is a beautiful tagline for a cooking channel that I've never seen, and I would love for your channel to have something like that. I think that could easily be a reason for people to subscribe, which I'm not seeing here. If I look at your videos, I'm going to be honest, because your videos are in Spanish, my SEO may not be the best help, because there are different ways you would type that, or you would say that in Spanish to English. But if you can translate it well, I can give you some help. But again, there are going to be different ways you would type it. And seeing that I'm assuming your channel is in Spanish, because it seems to be, I can only really give you what I'm seeing. And another thing is, not all of the translations are going to do well. just because of how Translate works. But one thing I'm seeing, and I'm not sure if it's the same in Spanish, I can turn this off. So again, sorry that this, I would recommend, and this is just in any language, to avoid one-word tags because the odds of you ranking for them are low. So what I can do, I'm noticing that this is in your tags, but I don't see it. Another thing that YouTube says is that if your ideal audience wouldn't like caps, like it looks like you're yelling, to add the subscribe button to the about page, you would just have to go to your channel and hit edit. So just to quickly show this, you go to your channel, you go to about, and then you can just hit customize channel. And then when you're on the about, you can add links by hitting this and it'll let you do that. Long tail descriptive keyword phrases. So describing. So this one, for example, I want to see if you show up. Now, the thing is, it's a little hard for me to give you SEO advice because I don't speak your language, but the ideas still reign true. So your title should always be in your tag restated. Thank you so much, 30-Day Reviews, for checking out the chat. I greatly appreciate it, and checking out the stream. So for me, it's really hard for me to give you SEO advice because I don't speak the language, but I can give you some things that work. When you are talking about, and I'll translate this so I can understand a little better for myself. So how to make strawberry marmalade is the searchable bit. Strawberry fruit marriage, which is what you have here, isn't as searchable as the how to make strawberry marmalade. So I would put that first, and then I'd put this second. Because more people are going to look for this, how to make this, than they are going to look for the fruit marriage. And so if we look up that, I'm sure you're going to have more results for this than possibly strawberry fruit marriage. But again, it's hard for me to help in that. To make strawberry jams, and I share my recipe with you. Again, find ways to include your keywords organically. So I can do this with how to make strawberry marmalade. I can't translate it, and I'm sorry about that, but I can do my best. I know that this is marmalade de fresa. I'm assuming this is fruit marmalade, just from my very basic understanding. But as you can see, there are search results for this. It's just finding ways that your video shows up. And again, it's focusing on the searchable bit first. I can get you an answer for that, con mucho sabor, or Francisco. But as of right now, I only do my tags in English. And again, this is where I need to learn. I've always wanted to learn Spanish. And this is one of those things. I might even be wrong in assuming that is Spanish. But I'm 88% sure. But that's about the most I can do. I apologize for not being able to do more help. I can just give you the basics. But the basics do really kind of translate over. You need to focus on the searchable bit first, which is the how to make the strawberry marmalade, and then translate it for your language. And then you need to build your tags around that. So different ways to rephrase how to make strawberry marmalade in your language. So hopefully you were able to find that helpful. But it's one of those things where it's hard for me to give you advice because I don't want to lead you astray because I don't speak the language. And I do apologize for that. However, with that, it has been 2 hours. I would like to thank everyone for so much for the super chats. Hopefully you all found this very useful. I'm Andrew Can, and if I can, you can too.